Good morning. Today is Tuesday, and I have a touching story for you. Probably not in the sense that you think, not touching in a way that I will elicit emotion from you or that will connect on some different level, but more so in a physical sense, touching someone physically. My son PJ was in the burn unit in Baton Rouge General for about 9 months, and probably the first 4 or 5 months of that, we wore gloves and masks and gowns, and we had to be very careful not to touch him. Because if we did, it could cause bacteria to get on him and he would get an infection, and he was at such great risks for that type of thing. We had to be very careful not to do something that would be detrimental to his healing and well-being. It was really hard for me because I wanted so desperately to touch him. And we figured out that the only place that we could physically touch him without hurting him was the top of his head and his feet. Those were the two places that really hadn't been burned at all. So we would rub his feet through gloved hands and touch the top of his head, rub his hair, and talk to him. And even when he was in a coma, that physical touch seemed to relax him a little bit more. His heart rate got a little more steady, and he seemed to not be as restless when we were touching him. That meant the world to me to be able to at least do that much. And we actually fantasized, my husband and I, about what it would be like when he finally healed enough that we could hug him. We missed not being able to hug him. And just the thought that we had almost lost him made us just want to grab him and hug him. It's like when your kid runs across the street in front of a car and you spare his life, but then you keep hugging him because, oh my gosh, I could have lost you. And that's the way it was with us. We wanted to hug PJ so badly, and we couldn't because of the burns and because of the germs. And we had to wait a long time before we were able to give him those hugs. I just want to stress to you the importance of physical touch. Some people do not like to be touched, and I'm a toucher. I tend to touch people when I'm talking to them. I hug a lot. I kiss people on the cheek, and I probably violate some personal space, some boundaries that I shouldn't. But I just think it's so important to physically touch people and let them know how you feel. And just wanted to put that out there to you, a random thought for today. Touch someone the next time you see them and see if it makes a difference. Have a wonderful, touching Tuesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow.